Hey everyone! Today we're having a look at the Avatar Last Airbender Beginner Box of Magic the Gathering. I had the opportunity to try it out over the last 2 days, and going into this, I had no Magic experience. So I wanted to share my thoughts on the box from a beginner perspective. In this video, I will show you what's in the box, how it teaches the game, what I think of the beginner box, and whether I actually know how to play now. So if you're curious whether this beginner box is worth it, stick around to find out. This is the Magic the Gathering beginner box, and you can immediately tell it's Avatar The Last Airbender edition. So the box feels sturdy and it's made of solid material, and you can open it by lifting the top off. So inside this box, you will find two pre-made decks. One for Aang and one for Zuko. The cards are numbered, so you don't have to shuffle them, since they're used alongside the Aang and Zuko quick start guides. You will also get two dices, one in Aang's color and one in Zuko's, along with dividers you can put in the box, punch out counters that are made from cardboard. There's also a general rules reference as well, which is basically a small encyclopedia of Magic terms and Magic gameplays. The box includes several creature tokens too, like allies, soldier, and spirit, which one of them you will use during the tutorial. And once you've completed, there are 8 different jumpstart decks you can mix and match to explore different Magic colors. And finally, there are 2 cardboard playmats. That's everything you get in this box. So to start a game, you will need the Aang or Zuko decks, the quick start guides, both the playmats, 1 creature soldier token, the counters, and the dices. The decks come in order and shouldn't be shuffled. The tutorial is set in Sokka's and Katara's village, which is under attack by the Fire Nation. You either play as Aang, trying to protect the village, or as Zuko, trying to capture the Avatar. Quick start guides walk you through every step. It shows you exactly where to place your cards, what to do each turn, and gives you a little bits of story and strategy tips along the way. Each turn starts with drawing cards, playing a land, casting a creature, and maybe attacking or blocking if you can. At the end of every turn, the guide shows you a quick recap of what your board should look like before you pass the turn. It also explains what to do when your opponent attacks and why you might choose another option over another. The tutorial runs through different scenarios that introduce keywords like defender, flying, sorcery, haste, vigilance, lifelink, reach, and creature tokens. Basically, all the fundamentals you will hear in Magic. And to keep things fun and casual, the guide includes little bits of dialogue from your favorite Avatar characters. What I really like about this box is how beginner-friendly it is. I've never played Magic before because I always felt completely overwhelmed by all the terminology flying over my head. But the guides in this box do a really great job of teaching Magic in a fun and simple way. As a kid, I loved watching Avatar, and being able to learn the game through those characters really helped me digest the rules in a casual, approachable way, and the guides are very clear to follow, and the recap at the end of each turn is a great visual way to show you what your board state should look like. Another thing the guides do really well is explain the strategy behind each decision. Instead of just telling you, cast this or block that, they explain why you're doing that. The character interactions were a lot of fun. It was really nice connecting the game to a story about defending Sokka's and Katara's village, and the little bits of banter between Zuko and Aang made the tutorial feel engaging. One thing that surprised me was the ending. Spoiler alert. The guide stops at the very end and gives the Aang player 2 choices. You either block with Momo or block with your Penguin. Depending on your choice, you either win or lose against Zuko, and I took a risk, and well, it didn't pay off. The great thing is when you finish your first game, you don't have to stop playing. The box comes with 8 jump start decks, each representing a different way to play. You can grab 2, shuffle them together, and play a new game. This is fantastic to get more familiar with Magic, learn more terminology, and get your money's worth after finishing the tutorial. With 8 decks, you can play multiple variations before running out. I also really like the playmats. They're made of solid material, which gives it a more of a board game feel, and they make it really clear where to place your cards. It's a minor thing, but it makes the whole experience feel more polished. Overall, I really like the box, and I think it's a fantastic way for beginners to learn how to play Magic, especially anyone who loves Avatar board games or TCG games in general. There's just one improvement I would suggest to Wizard of the Coast, and that's around the unboxing. When I first opened the box, everything was still wrapped, and I saw two stacks of cards. One was labeled Aang Do Not Shuffle, and the other one was counters. Looking at the guide, it said to grab the Aang deck and the Zuko deck. So my first thought was, oh no, did something go wrong? Did they forget the Zuko deck? I opened the counters stack first, and since I didn't flip the cards over, I didn't notice the white Jumpstart deck cards inside. Then I went through the Aang deck, and well, because I wasn't expecting a Zuko deck to be there, I completely overlooked it. So yes, that was probably an error on my part, but it made me realize it could have been clearer. So it would have made more sense if it had said something like Aang and Zuko decks, or if the decks were in separate stacks. So that's really my only feedback. Make it easier to find the decks you need for the quick start guide. And now, the question you've all been waiting for. Can I play Magic the Gathering? Well, yes and no. I definitely understand the game, but since there are so many terms, I'm still getting used to what everything does. So there hasn't been a match yet where I didn't have questions. That said, I know that will come with time. The more I play, the better I'm getting. I truly think this beginner box was the perfect way to introduce me to Magic. Please hit that like button, and till next time, bye!